Hey, Dad. Good morning. I'm doing this to help you with your ability to make a good steak. So pay attention. We got a little bit of ingredients, and I'm going to go ahead and walk you through this. So the first thing that you're going to do is this right here. I went and sprinkled with basically some garlic powder. Okay, this is actually a blend of different things, but use this as a base coat. And what you do is every time that you put a layer of your crust on, because that's what this is ultimately going to turn into, you're going to keep on putting more olive oil on and get yourself a little paintbrush, something like this. And after you've put on one layer, you just hit it with your brush. And that's going to allow for you to make a base so that the next layer of your stuff can come on. So this next one, I'm gonna try to buy some of this stuff and send it to you. This is my Adonis steak rub. This is my secret right here. So here we go. I'm gonna swap because I'm a lefty. This is easier like this. All right. So let's see if I can still do it. So, and you'll see it's got a nice even spread on it. I'm then going to take more of this olive oil. Here, I'll set you down. Just with two hands, making the whole thing better. All right, so just to recap so far, this stuff is amazing, but basically you want to use a garlic powder as a base, okay? And then this is my steak rub. This stuff is phenomenal. After those two are done, the next thing we're going to use is going to be smoked salt, pepper, and then we're going to top it off with some rosemary and what I actually call steak butter, which you can't smell it through the video, but that smells so good because Lauren makes it for me. It's full of herbs and spices, and it's a great time. So, as I already put the steak rub on, the next thing that we're going to do, so you can kind of just see what it looks like, is get some of that olive oil from the bottom. Take this and literally just pour it gently on because you don't want to make the rub fall off. But at the same time, you need the olive oil as a base so that the new layer of crust that you're putting on is going to have something to stick to. That's what the actual olive oil is used for. So just so you can kind of see, it's going to look like all nice and wet, and that's basically how you know you've put enough on, and then each layer will dry it off again. And that's my secret right there, because what's going to happen is that by the time this thing is done, I'm actually going to put it in the sous vide, which the sous vide is it's basically it's a bath that you set to 128 degrees, and it will consistently cook the steak to a point that it's just like last night I made some filet. You could cut it with a fork. It was damn good. So I'm gonna make this one. We're gonna be going up to the lake today, and this is gonna be what I'm gonna throw on the grill. But I'm gonna show you the rest of the process, and I hope that you and Renee are able to enjoy this and try it out sometime. So here we go. All right, so we put the steak rub on. Next thing's gonna be smoked salt. The smoked salt is going to give a little bit of flavor. and it's really going to bring the flavor of the meat out. Plus, also, I like the fact that it's smoked, just because it's like gives it an extra little special something that you wouldn't otherwise get. I will probably send you some as well. I just have to figure out when, probably for your birthday coming up or for Father's Day, so we'll figure it out. This is my Old Spice. This is just my pepper. I'm running out of it, so I'm going to use this one instead of the other one I showed you. And you can see this. We're going to sear this at about 500 degrees, and that is going to make this thing just to die for. Plus, it's going to give you those really cool diamond sear marks that you go and if you get a steak at a nice restaurant, it's basically it's actually better than the restaurant quality steak. So I put a lot of pepper on there, which is good because, like I said, that stuff's going to turn on to the crust really easy. And the reason why I put it on in layers is because, some of this stuff you lose to the grill. So I'm basically trying to keep, the flavors that I really want to keep with the steak in there. And I'm using the rest for, I'm using the rest for an offering to the grill. And hopefully you don't get too many flare-ups. So I really recommend, if you get a chance, go down to the store and I'll show you what they look like. If you guys have something like this in Texas, I would pick it up because these are the truth. These are phenomenal. The fresh herbs, you can put them in for breakfast, you can put them for dinner. They're just a great thing. The problem though is that I've used all the rosemary. So I'm using, this is just crushed rosemary, but I really should go down to the store and go get some. I might do that for when I end up putting them on the grill later. So, but that's my other secret. The fucking fresh rosemary. Oh my God, it gives it this kick at the end. You're just like, it's good. So now that one side of this steak has been given the crust, and what I'm also going to end up doing is I have a little scooper. I have this little scooper, and I will scoop 2 scoops of little tiny, as you can see kind of for scale. I will scoop 2 little scoops of this with the steak butter and then put it in the actual vacuum sealed bag with the steak. And it is just, it's next level. So the one side is seasoned. I'm going to go ahead and flip this. Oops. I'm going to flip this bad boy. And then we'll do the same thing to the other side. All right. So, yeah, always have a napkin because, and also another secret, whenever you're working with meat, the trick is handle it as little as possible, which means I literally only touch this thing just to get it on either side. Afterwards, you handle it as little as possible until you end up serving this stuff. And also meat, another little secret is you have to let it rest. So like think of it like it's a muscle basically. After it's done all that work on the grill, once it's done on the grill, if you let it just kind of sit for a little bit and kind of cool down, that's when you serve it to people, but not right off the grill. You want to give it a little rest. So the first thing, like I said, this is I'll read you the ingredients so you can hear. This has oregano, onion powder, garlic powder, sea salt, black pepper, parsley, cinnamon, and ground nutmeg. So this is really good stuff that I get from a guy in town. I'll probably send out a bunch of stuff to you, but here you go. But I'm going to sprinkle this on top. And that's my base coat. You always want that really nice fine powder as a base coat, because that's really gonna just give the steak some good flavor, and it's gonna help accentuate the qualities of the meat, along with give you a good thing to kind of build from. So I got the olive oil on there. Next thing is going to be my steak rub. You can use whatever you guys have in Texas. I'm sure you got some great barbecues and rubs down there. So don't be All right. Yeah, this has got pepper, minced garlic, onion flakes, shallots, coarse sea salt, oregano, red peppers, and ancho flakes. I love this stuff. And even raw, I mean, this smells delicious. Like that's a thing that it's actually how I got really good at this. Is I was at my mom's house for a couple years when you remember then. She made us learn cook for ourselves, and I had to learn how to cook. Otherwise, I didn't get to eat. And I actually found out that I would smell different herbs when I was making fish of the sort. And based off the smell of the fish, I could then pair that with different herbs that she had in her spice cabinet. And because of that, it's like, I gotta tell you, Dad, and also I'm gonna blame your grill master ability. Made me feel as if I've figured out how to do this stuff pretty good. So I got the rub down there. This is the sea salt. I smoked sea salt. And you imagine if you're seeding a lawn, that's basically what you're doing. You're just trying to cover as much space as you can. Not put like layers on it, but you're making a crust. That's literally exactly what your objective should be doing. Because the trick is when you put this on for a sear, I'll show this to you in a second. When you're going to sear this stuff, all this layers of seasoning of the sort, it's going to end up turning hard and just make like that outer layer of steak just have so much flavor that when you take a bite into it, that with a sous vide, it's just like perfect steak every time. So this is what it's going to look like when it's done. Not bad, huh? Yeah, and so what I'm now going to end up doing is I have this vacuum sealer, which is right here, okay, which I take one of these bags. I'm going to put the steak in the bag with 2 scoops of the butter, and then I'm going to heat it up in this thing called a sous vide at 128 degrees. And what's going to happen, this sits in here. What's going to happen is when I finish, you just heard that little beep. I will actually be able to set this. It's actually sensing the temperature of my house right now, but I will set this to 128 degrees for 2 hours, and that will literally this gets filled up with water, and that will make this steak have the consistency all the way through that it's going to be perfect medium rare. That all I have to do is throw it on the grill for 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, flip it, put the rest of the sauce on, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, shut the grill off, let it rest for 2 minutes, throw it on a platter, and I mean, on a real level, Dad, I have figured this out, and I got to tell you, I really hope that you get to try this. If not, I will do it for you sometime. So I love you. Hope to talk to you soon, and enjoy the video.